Hey everyone, welcome back to Midwest DBS. I got a little deck profile to go over. I have a couple different builds of this deck, actually 3 different builds, so I'm going to go over one of them with you guys. This is a new leader from the new set. It's Son Goku. It's I call it basically the deck's called Revived Coup. So far in testing, it's done pretty well, so I'll just go over it real quick. Basically, when this card attacks a leader, you draw a card. Whenever you activate Revive, you draw a card. So what it does is it kind of replaces the discard effect to revive a card. If you just place a multicolor card, because it just replaces itself with the draw one. When it awakens, you get to turn back an energy and draw a card. Now on the Awaken side, so things get a little bit more fun. Same thing when he attacks, but he can attack any card. He gets to draw a card, and then once you revive, it's a once per turn. You get to draw 2 cards instead of 1. So this guy can kind of net advantage if you discard a multicolor card, because then you draw 2. And if you have to discard 2 just regular cards, like 1 blue, 1 green, then it'll just replace itself. Also, the other effect is really neat. You get to choose one of your blue-green multicolored battle cards in rest mode. And until start of your next main phase, as long as that card is in play, your opponent can't attack your leader card. So it kind of turns that multicolored card into a pseudo deadly defender, where they can't swing at your leaders. They have to pop that multicolored card off the field before they can swing at your leader. Okay, we're going to go over some card choices real quick. First off, we're playing Newfound Power Son Gohan. Just a good card. It's a 5K. You can take a life to give it a plus 10 in crit. So it can pressure early game. It's also crit damage, so it goes through the drop instead. And it's a self-awakener. So in decks that are stalling that don't want to awaken you, I have some self-awakeners that'll help you achieve the awaken threshold. I'm going to do some of the multicolor package. We got 4 of these. This is a new card, Android 17 Protector of Wildlife. It's basically the second dual color. Basically you're going to want to play a multicolored card in your energy during your first turn. It's this. You want to play this or one of the other ones you'll see. So then once you see this on turn 2 or turn 3, just later in the game, it'll come into play in active mode. And it just helps like energy fixing all around. It also has a neat little auto once per turn. When your opponent combos, choose up to one of those cards and place them at the bottom of their owner's deck and negate skills for the duration turn. So this can do good against the big Bardock apes. They combo with it. It can go. You can make them go to the bottom of their deck. You can choose that one. Or like the U6 decks where they try to combo to evolve on top like the Khalifas and Kales. This could also help with that. It's just a good card. It's a really good card in multiple ways. So, in testing last night, I have more of these on the way. I ordered them. So, this is just a proxy for one of these. But Son Gohan and Piccolo, Pupil and Master. This card is pretty good. It's one of your revive targets. It has Barrier, which is relevant, so it can't be removed. They have to tack it down to remove it. And, of course, it has Revive, where you just have to pitch a blue and green card or a multicolored card, which meets the blue and the green, to bring it from your drop directly into play. So that'll affect your leader where you're drawing cards. The good part of this card, when it attacks, you have to discard a card. A lot of times last night I used this for it was not so much attacking leaders. I would just swing down their battle cards, swing into their battle cards, and they would have to drop a card just for me attacking their battle card. So this deck has some crit as well in it, in between me swinging down their battle cards, making them drop cards, some of the crit pressure. I was able to keep some decks with a relatively low hand size. Decks that generally hold a big hand size. It was actually pretty good. Next multicolor card, other revive target. And don't forget, all these multicolor cards, once they're in play, are basically pseudo-deadly defenders once your leader's awakened. Son Goku, Spirit of the Planet. This card's really good as well. Basically, it has Revive, which is the key word. So basically, when it goes to your drop, you can bring it right back into play. It's a 15K, which is also relevant because this deck runs some fusion targets because we are playing a big boy Gogeta. It also has a nice effect for blue and a green. You can give this card 10,000 power and triple strike for the end of the turn. I actually closed out a game with him last night by activating the triple strike when someone was at 3 life and just swinging in and killing him. Another Self Awakener, it's also 15k Goku, which is relevant, is Kaiogen Son Goku, Strenuous Onslaught. It's 15k, it's 3. Basically, when it comes to play, you can choose 1 to 2 cards in your life. It gets an additional 5,000, so it comes to 20,000. And then it's a little different than the like Digging Deeps and the other ones that are like that, because what it does is at the start of your opponent's next main phase, you can choose 1 of your energy and switch it to active mode. So if you play him, you do his thing, take life. When you pass turn, it goes to your opponent's main phase. You get to take 1 of your energy and switch to active mode so it can kind of play defensively. And it's a Self-Awakener, and it's a 15k, which is relevant. One of the best counterplays in the game. It's a Vegeta that's 15k. Another fusion target for our big boy Gogeta. Vegeta Cruel is just really good, and it helps control hands. And it just KOs. It basically is a 2-for-1. It can counterplay, pop a card that's 4 or less, and it goes to the warp, and then they have to discard a card from hand, and then you get a battle card in play. And it costs 2 as long as you have a multicolored energy in play, which this deck doesn't have an issue doing. So it's just all around a good counterplay in fusion target. Ultra Instinct Son Goku the Unstoppable. This card is another busted counterplay because it can basically deal with anything. Things that they're playing that's energy cost 4 or greater. If it has barrier, it doesn't matter. This card basically, once it counterplays, it brings that card back to their hand and it draws a card. You can do it as a counterplay or you can do it as a counterattack. So you can also play it when they swing with something, and then you can play it and return that card they're swinging with, or you can return another card that's on the field that you don't want to deal with. So, and it's 20k. I run a couple 20k fusion targets as well. We got 2 At All Costs Vegeta. It's another Self-Awakener. It can get really big and nasty if you're up to 5 energy, because it can get a plus 3k for every energy and triple strike, and it can pop a dude. So basically this card's just all around good blue card. And when you play it restains the blue energy, which is relevant. So it really kind of costs 3 energy, kind of. You just have to have 4 energy out to play it. And it's a 20k fusion target. Another card that did really well last night is Matchful Technique Whis. This card comes in for 2 green. It's 15k, so stats are pretty good. When it comes in, you get a pop a battle card with energy cost 2 or less. It also has this auto once per turn, is when basically when a green battle card other than this card from your drop, draw a card. So basically, if you get another, basically when you activate Revive, this will draw you an additional card. So with your leader, if your leader's awakened, basically you're gonna have to. You generally are pitching a multicolor card to revive. So you're pitching 1 card, and this is drawing you 2, and this will draw you additional 1. So basically, it's just netting more advantage. So every time I revived, basically I pitched a card and got to draw 3 cards, which allowed me to see more of my deck. And the popping effects are relevant too. This card right here, if I had 1 more, I would play 3, but right now, unfortunately, I only have 2. But this card's really good as well. It's a 4-drop barrier, so it's hard to deal with. And it has a bond 2, so you have to have 2 battle cards in play. But once you do, what you can do is activate battle. So during combo step, you get to do this. And basically, you get to choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and it costs 5 or less, KO it, and draw a card. So it makes attacking really hard for your opponent. So a lot of times on your turn, you're attacking, not attacking with him because you want to keep him up generally so he doesn't die. So you're attacking with another card. During combo step, you're activating battle, popping 1 of their cards, go to their turn. If they try to swing against you, basically during a combo step of 1 of their battle cards, you're activating this, popping a card, drawing a card. Really good. So between the Whis that pop a card and the Pickles that pop a card, plus you can just attack down battle cards. Surprise Attack Frieza was in the deck. If you KO a card, basically it comes into play for free as long as you don't already have another one in the battlefield, and it has critical. So a lot of times you're playing this, setting this up as a free 15k crit after you KO something. And I have the Piccolos to KO, the Whis to KO, and a couple negates that KO cards too. So this was coming in free a lot. Next, since I am running some of those crit guys, and you can put on other cards too, but these are really good to slam on the crit guys. It's a Hidden Power Supreme Sky. You combo with it, you declare you're doing double strike, and then you're doing double strike crit. So it's just a way to pressure early or later in the game. Next card is the Fusion Target. Gogeta Hero Revived. I got 2 of them. You do have to have Sparking 10, which I didn't run into a problem of having Sparking 10 last night. But everyone knows what this card does. It's just busted. It's Triple Strike, Berry, Deflect. When you play it, your opponent has to take their entire hand, shuffle it back in the deck, and draw 3 random cards. So it's just one of the very good closers for this deck. And lots of Fusion Targets, so it's really easy to do. The nasty card is the Vegeta FCR. This card was insane in testing last night. Every time I played it, I just won the game on the spot. Double strike, critical, triple attack. It's very hard to deal with. It also has a second ability, is basically, if you do it on your opponent's turn when you rival it, you choose, you can rival it whenever, but you get one choice if it's your turn. That's the triple attack, double strike, crit. Then if you do it on your opponent's turn, you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, place its in dropping that to 2 cards from the top of your deck to your energy. So even on your opponent's turn, it's really good because it can just deal with any threat, ignoring barrier, and then ramps you 2 more energy, allowing you to push more plays on your turn. And we're in green, so we're going to play the best super combo for green. Defending Father Paragus, basically at 4 or less life, you get to see 2 cards, and then you have to place 1 card on your hand to your warp. It just allows you to see more cards. And that's pretty much it in combos for 10k. Seeing more cards is really important in any deck. Our negate package, we run 3 Shocking Death Ball, which basically, if you have Sparking 5, you can take a life to do it instead of paying the energy. If not, you pay an energy, negates an attack, and then pops a card with an energy cost 2 or less. And when you KO a card, it can bring out that Frieza for free as well that I showed you earlier. Sensu Bean, because Sensu Bean is just good if you're running blue and you want to manipulate your energy and you want to keep pressing plays. Sensu Bean is the way to go. It can be defensively. Just be careful if people are playing like Kamhis or the new cards that make you take cards from your drop to your warp, because that could turn off your sparking for some of your cards that need sparking. So just be careful not to fall prey to those cards and use it offensively. Because even if they do that, you have ways to KO those cards and deal with them and use it offensively. But you can just always use it defensively, and it's pretty good. That's Sensu Bean. And then last but not least, since we run a lot of 10k multicolor cards, Zeno Button, which I think is the way to get. Basically, any deck that's running lots of multicolored 1-10k combos that are in blue are going to run Zeno Button. It just opens up a lot of times people catch you tapped out thinking you can't do anything, and then you button, and then you have Vegeta the Cruel's up, Ultra Instinct Son Goku, Ultra Instinct Goku, negates, just more combo power. It's just really good. And it's really good just to, sometimes you have to tap out, they think you can't do anything, you have this. Other times, just when you want to play Ultra Instinct on 4, then you're tapped out, they think you can't do anything else. This will peel back all those energy. It just allows you to basically play defensive, play this game defensively very well. So that's it for the deck. I do have another version of the deck that I will show, which doesn't go. The only difference is, once I put it together, I'll show you. There are some differences between the other deck, but basically it's not going in the Gogeta. I can't even find it. The 7-drop Gogeta, but it's running the UI, the 7-drop UI. So I have 2 builds, one with the 7-drop Gogeta as a good finisher. The other one's with the UI Goku as a finisher, the 7-drop UI Goku. So I'll bring that deck to you at some point soon. And that's all I got for you today. Thanks again, guys.